Long before the Hedgehog, it was the Kid who carried the banner of Sega into the video game battlefield. This is Sega Masters. We start off 1987 with what can be considered one of the big moments in the history of the Master System, if not Sega itself. As Nintendo brought the video game industry back from oblivion in the mid-1980s, they were changing the way gaming consoles should be marketed in the process. Once Nintendo struck gold with Super Mario Bros., arcade ports and simple run-and jumps was simply not enough for a console to thrive anymore. Mario's massive success pretty much established that an important ingredient for any console's success would be a franchise mascot, somebody to be the face of their brand. Sega was quick to pick up on this idea, and thus released their own Mario-style platformer that would introduce gamers to this guy, Alex Kidd, a big-eared jumpsuit-wearing lad that was designed by Kotaro Hayashida and was quickly established as Sega's spokesman. Alex would go on to star in a somewhat uneven series of games on the Master System and Genesis, until a certain blue hedgehog permanently replaced him in 4 years. But while he never achieves the fame Mario did, or Sonic for that matter, Alex still holds a place in the hearts of longtime Sega gamers. In any case, Alex made his grand debut in today's cart, which is considered one of the better platformers on the Master System, since it sported some rather interesting features for its time, even ones the Mario series wouldn't adopt for several years. Here we find Alex on a quest to rescue his brother Egil and his homeland from the clutches of the evil warlord Jenkin the Great, and his journey will take him through 11 levels of varying terrain. On the surface, the game unfolds much like your standard late 1980s platformer, as Alex runs and jumps his way through the different horizontally or vertically scrolling stages, and of course a number of baddies try to impede your progress. Thing is, you don't dispatch foes by simply jumping on their heads like other similar titles. Instead, Alex's main weapon of offense is his oversized fist that unleashes a special shell core punch, which can knock your foes out as well as break blocks to clear a path. Star boxes and question boxes are also scattered around each level, and often hide bags of money and important items. Beware, a phantom sometimes emerges from the boxes and will chase you down unless you somehow escape from it. Also interestingly enough, the game opening vertical descent transitions into this horizontal aquatic scene where your swimming skills are tested. You clear each level by collecting the rice ball that's waiting for you at the end. Alex then gets to enjoy a quick snack before the next level while your progress is tracked on this map screen. Another distinguishing feature are shops Alex can visit at the beginning of certain areas to purchase useful items to aid him on his quest, including vehicles he can drive. This motorcycle definitely makes your life easier since you can plow through enemies and rocks while riding on it. Be aware your transport will explode if you run into an obstacle, forcing you to walk or swim the rest of the way. Other items you gather are stored in your inventory, which you access by pushing the pause button on the console. One such item is the bracelet, which lets you shoot fireballs from your fist that tear through just about anything. You can also utilize a flight cane, a ball unleashing a small army of mini Alexes, a protective barrier, and others. Naturally, any platformer has its share of boss encounters, and Mriacle World is no different. At the end of certain stages, Alex has to confront one of Jenkin's 3 henchmen, each of which have heads shaped like hands. However, there's a twist. Instead of a regular fight, you have to best each of them in a game of Jenkin, which is the Japanese name for paper, rock, scissors. In fact, each of the 3 bosses' fist head is shaped like one of the game's signs, hence their names of Paperhead, Scissorhead, and Stonehead. In any case, you cycle through the choices of rock, paper, or scissors while the music is playing, and once it stops, you throw that sign against your foe and hope you're successful. You must take 2 out of 3 matches to proceed to the next stage, otherwise you instantly lose a life. And so the game continues on through varying terrain, some of which lets you use other vehicles such as the pedal copter and speedboat. You also eventually meet each henchman a second time during your travels, and when you beat them again in Jenkin, they attack you in a traditional boss fight. Ultimately, you must storm Jenkin's castle for a one-on-one confrontation with the evil king himself, then solve one final riddle before you can call this quest complete. Mriacle World is fun to play, and Sega's efforts to make Alex's debut more than just another Mario clone definitely show here. The different levels all have unique looks to them with bright, vibrant colors used throughout, while the sprites are nicely done with some good detail. The cutesy background music also fits each setting and are pretty catchy as well. The sound effects aren't anything special, but they do their job adequately. At the same time, the game is also pretty rough around the edges, especially with its Battletoads-like difficulty. Alex can only take 1 hit before dying, and his normal attack has too short of a range, meaning you have to get in close to foes and hope you get in the first shot. And a few issues with collision detection don't help any either. You'll be constantly looking for the bracelet to give yourself a fighting chance. Alex also seems to have shoddy footwear, as he often has a hard time stopping when he lands after a jump. With some of the stages sporting some seriously brutal platforming challenges that give you almost no room for error, this is pretty troubling. And once again you have to deal with the reverse NES standard, where button 1 jumps and button 2 attacks, which takes some getting used to. The paper rock scissors idea does add a different twist to the standard boss battles, and there are patterns at first to your foe's choices. But if you mess it up, it becomes random and your success mainly depends on luck. That is, unless you have the telepathy ball to read your opponent's mind, which does help. Yet even with its warts, Mriacle World still manages to shine as a mostly well-produced title with its innovative features that helped it stand out from other platformers at the time. Despite its frustrating moments, the fun, charming action and unique personality will win you over, and the game can be beaten with enough practice. A secret continue code is available once you exhaust your lives, though it only works if you've accumulated enough cash. There's no save function either, so you have to complete the entire quest in one session. Ironically, this first entry is also the highlight of Alex's run, as Sega couldn't follow Mriacle World up with any satisfactory sequels. Instead, Alex would be taken into some strange directions as the series progressed, but he wouldn't be the only Sega icon to suffer from this treatment. Mriacle World may not have been the Mario killer Sega was hoping for, but it definitely earns its place in Sega lore and is worth a look.